Hi everyone, so today I want to talk to you about having a minimal baby, and by minimal I mean like a minimalist baby, or not having all the traditional stuff that goes along with usually having a baby, or is traditionally seen as being needed when you have a baby. My baby, who is behind me somewhere, there she is, I gave her a little snack. She is almost 8 months old, and I feel pretty comfortable at this point that this is sort of setting the stage for hopefully the rest of her at least toddlerhood or childhood with us. We'll see what happens when she becomes a teenager. But I strived really hard before I even had her. I knew that I wanted to have a minimal baby. And by minimal, I mean without anything that isn't really needed. Now, I don't consider myself a minimalist. I do try to follow some tips that kind of go along with a minimalist lifestyle. I definitely don't live a minimalist lifestyle, even though I greatly admire that. And I love purging. I love getting rid of stuff. I hate being surrounded by clutter. So I just wanted to go through and kind of show you guys and tell you guys about some of the things that I personally felt were not needed this time having my third baby, and hopefully someone can get some tips and really find out what you really need versus what is marketed to you. Because I will say, when I was pregnant, and I noticed this so much more the third time around, pregnant women and families are marketed to so heavily, and we are convinced so much to buy all this stuff that we do not need and that our babies do not need. And if this can help even one person avoid overspending and really spending a bunch of money on stuff that they don't need, then I consider that a win. So I'm just going to dive right into this and tell you guys a few things that I definitely did not get for my third baby. Okay, the first thing that I definitely did not buy, and really don't feel that anybody needs to buy, are baby washcloths and baby towels. Now, I will say they are super, super soft, and they are cute, especially the little hooded towels that can keep your baby's head warm and stuff. But really, the third time around, I realized that I did not need special anything. We already have plenty of towels. I would just use a regular towel after bathing her. And really, when I was washing her, I didn't even use a washcloth. I mean, I would just squirt the soap in my hand and sort of just rub it all over her and clean her off, and then rinse her and then wrap her up in a towel that we already had. Really, she didn't seem to notice that it wasn't a plush, soft, specially designed $30 baby towel. Now, some of the things on my list are really unique to me, and of course, if you need these things, or you feel like these are needed purchases, I'm not trying to make you feel guilty. Again, some of the things are unique to me and my family and my situation. With that said, something that I didn't buy this time around was a crib. My babies sleep with me from day one. I did have a crib for my first two that really didn't see much use at all, and I sold that after my last baby, not knowing if I would ever have another one, and I definitely didn't buy a new one. And to go along with that, no changing table. I personally don't feel like I need a changing table. I just lay down a blanket and then change her on the floor or the couch or the bed or wherever I'm at the moment. I didn't feel the need for a changing table. I know some of them double as a dresser, so I could see the use in that. She doesn't even have her own dresser. I will show you what she has later on, but she doesn't have a dresser either. Another thing that I have not bought, and at this point will not buy definitely, are big baby toys. And what I mean by that are like exercisers or walkers, things you put the baby in. It has toys around them and stuff that they play with. And no bouncer. I had no bouncy seat. Have had an exerciser in the past and a bouncy seat, and I didn't feel like I needed that this time around. When I do want to put her down somewhere, I just lay her on the floor. Of course, now she just crawls, so I don't really lay her anywhere to stay. But even before that, I mean, I would just set her on the floor or wherever near me in a safe area on a blanket. Now, another thing that's really unique to me is I breastfed, and I still breastfeed, And so I didn't buy bottles or nipples or any of the cleaning supplies that go with that. And obviously that's something that's really unique to anyone's situation. So that's something that I was able to save money on. I did get some free samples of formula that came in a pre-made bottle, like the pre-mixed stuff and has the nipples and everything. And I kept that on hand until very recently for an emergency. Or any sort of situation where I wouldn't be able to feed her. So I did have that, but other than that, I didn't buy any of the supplies that go along with bottle feeding because I don't do that. So I was able to save some, you know, a lot of money there. And to go along with that, I did not get a breast pump, and that wasn't a minimal or money saving decision. That was simply because I never went and saw a doctor or anything, so I could get it for free through insurance. Okay, so now for the things that I did feel the need to buy and use with the third baby. And the first of those items is spit cloths. We call these spit cloths, I guess usually called burp cloths. And these we picked up at Walmart. These are actually like pre-fold diapers. That come in a pack. I think they usually come in a pack of 6 or 12. I can't remember. Really cheap option instead of like a fancy specially made, basically, you know, baby piece of cloth just for spitting. I mean, these can actually double up as diapers. We didn't actually need to use them that much. I think we bought 2 packs of them. We could have got by with just one just because she wasn't a heavy spitter. She hardly ever has spit up throughout her life, so we didn't get much use out of these. That's nothing that you can really predict. But now, actually, I moved them all over to our cleaning rag bin, so now they're going to be like dust cloths and wiping the table off and things like that. So I guess we are still using them, so not a wasted purchase by any means. Another thing that I really felt was needed was a thermometer, and obviously the little covers that go on it. Now, to be honest, I didn't buy this because I just had it left over for my other 2 kids, and it's been working for close to 10 years now. Yeah, 10 years I've had this, and just have bought the new little covers for it. So really that's the only thing I purchased, but that's something that I definitely feel is needed if you're going to have a baby. Now, another thing that I personally find a must-have and must-purchase for baby is if you're a baby-wearing mom or you are a baby-wearing parent and you plan to baby wear, then you definitely need a good carrier or a good carrier selection. In my case, I have 3 carriers. 2 of them I have left over from my second baby, and then 1 I bought brand new for her a few months ago. And just to show you those really quick, this is an old like Becco Butterfly 2 that I had with my other daughter. And then this is the carrier that I bought for this baby, and this is just this is a ring sling that I adore this. I use this every single day. I have 0 regrets about dropping some cash on this thing. So if you plan to baby wear, even if you don't plan to baby wear, I'm just going to put in a little plug here that maybe borrow a friend's carrier and see how you feel about it, because for me, it's definitely worth the purchase. I am constantly having to wear her while I'm, you know, teaching the other kids in homeschool or just doing some chores, not around the house, but mostly outside. I'm wearing her and she's super happy in them, and I love having baby carriers available for me. Now, one of the main things that we need to buy for baby, but we definitely, as in general, I feel a lot of people overspend on or overbuy, and that's including me, are baby clothes. So I obviously bought her clothes, but I really cut back on the amount that I bought for my other kids in the past. I mean, unless you have a baby that's soiling their clothes constantly and you're changing them constantly, which wasn't the case for us. I mean, I was only changing, even in her like newborn days, I was only changing her clothes maybe 2 to 3 times a day. But really, babies do not need that many clothes. There are still some clothes that she barely got to wear, and and I really feel like I didn't have many clothes. And I'm going to show you her setup where I keep all of her stuff. So I'm pretty sure I showed this in my I guess a home birth preparation video, or the supplies that I had, but I wanted to show you guys again. This is where we keep all the baby's things, and again, she's almost 9 months old, so this is her area in our room. My husband just built this as a quick frame. We had one of these plastic storage drawer things, but the frame of it broke, so he just threw together a quick wooden frame. But this is just all her stuff that she has. And as far as her clothes, this is all that fits her right now. So this is a mixture of like 3-month to 12-month things, actually. She's a smaller baby, so it's just whatever fits goes in this drawer and then gets moved to a donation box when she's done wearing it. So these are all her clothes currently that she wears. This is it. And this is still probably a few items too many, funnily enough, which I couldn't have predicted that, because I definitely didn't have this few clothes with my other daughters. Down here are just some extra things, mainly things that don't fit her yet, and then some winter, fall, like cold weather items. And then up here is even more like clothes that I'm waiting on her to grow into. She'll probably wear these this winter and probably even throughout the spring if she keeps up with you know, her slow weight gain. She's just a tiny girl. So this is just all the stuff that she's waiting to grow into. Pretty much all of this was bought at thrift stores and secondhand. Now, something that I'm addicted to is blankets. I have a really hard time getting rid of blankets, so I definitely have way more than I need. Another baby carrier, wipes, witch hazel left over from her birth, an adorable hat that I can't get rid of, nipple cream, and then some moccasins that I got as a gift. And this is all of her stuff. Right back here, this is kind of hidden, is a white box. I actually have her keepsake items in here. So I've just been keeping this back here. I do keep certain things I just can't let go of, just for memory reasons. So far, this is her keepsake box. We just have to have some things that we save. Now, some things are obviously needed. I did buy a car seat for very obvious reasons, and 2 bases, one to go in each car. We still haven't got her bigger car seat. She has an infant seat, and a way to save money is to not buy the infant seat, like the kind that you can carry them around in. You can buy like the convertible ones, the ones that grow with them from like day 1 until they're ready to sit in a booster. Now, as I mentioned before, I don't have a crib, and I didn't buy a bassinet or anything like that. However, I think it is generally a good idea to buy something that you can put your baby in for their safety, and something to place them in for nap times or sleeping or whatever, especially if you don't bed share with your baby. Now, I did buy a rock and play, which I will show you. But honestly, it did not get much use at all, and I think that was just us. I mean, she did sleep in it a handful of times as a newborn, but most of the time I would put her in it and she would wake up nearly instantly and then just be rooting around or kind of fussing in no time. So, I mean, honestly, I didn't use it. If I needed to put her down really quick, I would just lay a blanket down and place her on it. And go do whatever, because there's never really been a time that she has napped without me, and that's just something that's been unique to all of my babies. And I think that was our biggest purchase we made that really didn't see a lot of use. Quick thing that I forgot to mention is a high chair. My last 2 daughters, I had a big high chair, like the kind that you had to like drag around in every room or wherever you wanted to feed the baby. So like a standalone high chair. I don't have one this time. I bought one of those like miniature high chairs, the kind that you put on a regular dining chair and you just kind of like strap it in, and it has a removable tray. I bought a really cheap one. I think it was like 24 bucks off of Amazon. But I do have that to set her in so she can eat and not make a humongous mess. I really love the Space Saver high chair. There isn't a need to have a huge standalone one, in my opinion. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's something that I wanted to make. I haven't talked much about having a third baby or the way I raise my kids or anything, so I really want to include this because, again, like, all these different companies are really trying to pull at our heartstrings and our pocketbooks and get us to spend money that we really don't need. And I really think that it kind of can detract from the enjoyment of your baby. It's so not needed, and it kind of just rubs me the wrong way. So I just wanted to give you guys a peek into how I've been raising my third baby and the things that I have found really useful and the things that I totally realized this third time around that I just didn't need in order to raise a happy, healthy baby girl. And if you have any tips for anyone, leave them in the comment section, or if you have any experience with raising a minimal baby. If you have raised your baby with even less, I would love to hear about it, and especially if you can point me to videos on minimal kids, minimal babies. Leave those in the comments below. I love getting all the tips that I can to minimize my life and minimize my stress. But again, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all again really soon.